Coming up, the going gets tough on the glacier.
I think that it's going to just push us to our limits.
A spectacular natural light show.
That is wicked.
And emotional first contact with home.
I've had a really good time.
The Sirius Arctic team have just had a really frustrating 3 days, stuck in a blizzard on the frozen sea. It was a huge relief when the weather finally cleared, enabling them to prepare for the climax of the whole expedition. They're about to fly to a remote glacier to work on a major project into global warming, and they can't wait to get going.
It'd be good to get to the next phase and actually do something, because we've been waiting so long to do it, and we finally get the chance.
It's quite exciting to know that we're going to get on the plane now and end up at the glacier, and I just can't wait to see what it looks like.
I'm excited because, I mean, not many people have been on one with a little sledge thing on the bottom.
It's a breathtaking journey down the bay. Their destination, the Grinnell Glacier, a huge ice cap around 10 miles long and 1,000 metres high.
That's the glacier, can you see it right underneath us? How is it deep?
Only a handful of people have ever been up here before, fewer than have walked on the moon.
I think this place is absolutely beautiful. I just love it here, but I've noticed that it's a lot colder. I think we've just got to be careful when we're out here.
I thought the other place was cold, and you come in and it's freezing. So...
Scientists want to keep the glacier as pure as possible, so all the team's rubbish will have to be taken away at the end of the trip, including human waste.
We can see a pit in front of us, all right, for peeing and pooing, all right? One end is pee, and pooing is, in the end there, double bagged, all right? And then everything will then be carried off the glacier with us.
It's a unique place to be camping, but after 2 weeks surviving in the Arctic, they're really missing civilization.
We're missing our TV, we're missing our families. Half of us just missing having a burger and chips. We're stuck with some blooming rehydrated spaghetti every night.
Late in the evening, the mood is lifted by an incredible Arctic experience, all revealed by a call of nature for Alex.
I was going to the toilet and I saw the Northern Lights. It's brilliant.
Oh, look over there now, that is...
Yeah. Oh, they're really strong.
It's beautiful, isn't it? That is wicked.
The Northern Lights are shimmering curtains of light, caused by radiation from the sun hitting the Earth's magnetic field near the poles. Few people ever get to see them.
It's absolutely breathtaking. You can't really describe it. It's amazing just to be standing there in a place like this, knowing that you're one of the luckiest people in the world.
I can't get over how lovely it is. I don't want to miss it. I don't want to go to bed. And my fingers are killing me. I still don't want to go to bed. Oh, they're absolutely gorgeous.
Overnight, the temperature drops below -30, and Jenna Lynn lets herself get even colder as she searches for her drinking flask.
I've lost it. Oh no. You need to hold it up. You need to hold that.
I have to retrace my steps. I went to the toilet. It's probably buried in the snow. And I'm thirsty.
In the morning, the expedition leaders decide they need to take her in hand.
You're getting colder and colder, and your kit is getting in a worse and worse state. Ben and I were seriously thinking about not taking today.
Seriously?
Yeah. And this is the most important day of the expedition, so the one day we get to do some research, and that's because we're worried about you. Yeah, you've really got to get on top of this, otherwise it's just dangerous.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I'm getting harsh on you, it's only because I'm worried about you. It's not because I'm being horrible.
It's all right. Sometimes I need people to be harsh on me, being totally truthful, so it's a good thing. Don't think it's a bad thing.
The team have come to the glacier to collect vital data on global warming. Over time, less of the Arctic Sea is freezing, threatening animals like polar bears which hunt on the sea ice. Scientists use glaciers to help find out exactly what's happening to the climate, and the team joined Christian Zdanovic from the Geological Survey of Canada.
Basically, what we're doing here is we're trying to figure out what's happening to these glaciers, whether they're shrinking or growing.
If a glacier is getting smaller, it's a clear sign that the area is experiencing global warming. The Grinnell Glacier has never been measured before, and to see how it changes over the coming years, the team's first job is to put in marker poles. Next task is to dig 3 meters down to the solid ice to take snow and ice samples. It's strenuous work.
I'm finding the work we're doing at the glacier quite rewarding, but it is hard work and it's hurting my back a bit.
Good effort, Jenny. Right, come on, Lewis.
It's getting really difficult because we're hitting the really hard packed stuff, so the spades are just bending, it's quite flimsy.
You're getting better?
And Jenna Lynn's still struggling with the cold.
Sprint like you mean it. Sprint, probably sprint. Move your arms, sprint.
I'm really cold, and even though I'm moving about, I'm finding it really hard to warm up. I think I've got bad circulation or something because I'm always cold. I run and I'm cold.
At lunchtime, an icy wind starts to get up, lowering the temperature even more to around -40. The team takes shelter behind a wall of snow, but it's still bitterly cold. As the afternoon wears on, the wind gets even stronger.
It's really, really tiring, and I think that it's going to really just push us to our limits.
The extreme conditions make it very hard to keep going.
Right, start jogging on the spot, mate. Proper jogging on the spot.
As the temperature plummets, so does morale.
The enthusiasm is all but gone. There's a lot of very cold, miserable people hanging around, standing in pits going, how much longer is it going to take till we finish? Can we go home yet?
I could give up now. I'd rather just go back and sit in the tent, but I do know that I've got to get it done.
Leaders Ben and Emma decide it's time to try to lift the team's spirits.
You've been away from home now for 18 days.
Yep.
So, I'd like to give you a special treat.
You're all each going to get a 4-minute satellite photograph home.
Wicked.
The 8 young adventurers have had no direct contact with home for the entire trip, until now.
Hi. Alice. Yeah. Hi, Alex. Hi, Dad. You alright, sweetheart? Yeah. I've had a really good time.
Missing you, Mr. Arctic boy.
Can't believe I'm speaking to you in the Arctic.
I'm actually sitting on the glacier.
You're sitting on the glacier?
Yeah, and it's so gorgeous, Mum.
So proud of you.
Thank you very much. It's been tough out here, but I'm still surviving.
I miss you, I would you know.
Yeah, I miss you too.
Hello, Ford.
Yeah, I am. I slept in an igloo.
Oh.
I've seen the Northern Lights.
Oh, wow.
The dog sled, you're wicked.
We got stuck in a blizzard the other night and the tent collapsed on my face.
What about food?
It's absolute rubbish.
Yeah. Are you skinny, Alex, and smelly?
Yes. I've only changed my underwear once.
Dirty pig.
I have to go to the toilet in a little ice pit. And have to reveal my bottom in -30.
Got about 10 seconds, okay?
All right, baby.
I love you lots.
Love you, bye-bye.
Love you, bye.
Love you, bye.
Mum, I was lying when I said I wouldn't miss you because I really, really do.
Oh, darling.
Got to go.
Love you. Love you.
I love you.
Sunday.
Bye.
Darling.
Love you. Bye.
See you on Monday, Mum.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye, Mum.
Tearful to hear my mum and everything, but they're not crying, so I shouldn't be, so.
Made me all emotional.
This reminded me of home.
It's been a tough day on the glacier. Jenna Lynn has suffered from the cold most of all, but feels she's at last getting more support from the other girls.
They are trying now. They're really, really, realising how I feel. and I train, so I'm really thankful for that.
We actually did say, the girl said we have to have maximum effort to look after Jenny up here.
You need to get in!
Come on,
I've got to get the
Jen,
fan
I'm
on,
trying to
I've
look
got to get the
after
fan on.
you.
I think everyone's getting on. I say it's each time the most, but I really do believe that this is the most so far we've all got on.
But things are going less well in the boys' camp. Since they came to the glacier, Fabian feels Lewis has been really picking on him.
When someone asks you to do something, Fab, you always try and come up with an excuse of how you can't do it.
I'm not sure why, but he seems to be bullying me a bit. He actually pushed my head once when we were sitting down, and that annoyed me quite a lot.
I don't feel as if I'm actually trying to bully him or anything. I just do say what gets on my nerves about him, which unfortunately is quite a lot.
It seems that you only do work when people are around, so they see you doing work. It's like whenever we leave you, you just like seem to just slack off.
Next morning, the leaders call some of the team together to try to sort out the problem.
Yeah, I'm just feeling a bit, I don't want to say bullied, but I feel a bit kind of put down sometimes.
Yeah. Bet you think it's mainly by me, but the only reason is, yeah, it's because he does like extra stuff that we don't do. Like a couple of days ago, he took 5 biscuits, but you only got 3.
But the thing is, I thought that everyone else had an extra 2 biscuits, and if I think that's what everyone else had, obviously I'm going to go and do that.
It's really frustrating when you're doing things in a group so everything's fair, like the biscuit thing, and then he goes against that.
I think the problem was he thought everyone had 5, and then I think you were quite, whether you meant to or not, you're a lot bigger than him, and you pushed him.
No, it wasn't because of the biscuit I pushed him, it's because then he started going, whatever, 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 whatever.
So you did push
and that really did annoy me. Yeah, I pushed his head because I told him to go pick up the biscuits, and he was going, whatever, whatever, whatever.
There's no excuse for pushing anybody,
No, I know.
especially in the head, yeah?
Yeah.
That is very out of order.
Yeah, I know.
We've got a lot of work to do today, and aside from that, I want everyone here to be happy, and everyone to be enjoying themselves.
But yeah, no, sorry about that.
I'm sorry too for being annoying sometimes.
Everyone happy with that?
Yep.
Yep.
Cool, excellent.
Cool, yeah, Fab?
Yeah, cool.
It's a big day for the project, collecting data on the glacier. They return to their pits and start to analyse samples of snow.
Sorry, yeah, 20 to 25.
The weight is 50.
But Jenna Lynn isn't getting involved. She's feeling too cold yet again.
If I'm not warm enough, I won't be able to carry on with the sampling, and basically the whole point of this adventure is to help sample this glacier. If I don't get to do that, you know, then that's going to be such a letdown, because we've gone through so much to get here.
You've got to keep eating.
She's given high energy food to try and warm her up.
Have you got any hot water today? I'll put something in your mouth and then I'll ask you a question. That's a really good idea, isn't it? So nod to me if you've got hot water for today. You don't know? Why don't you know if you've got any hot water? You can't remember?
I'm trying to trace back in my mind whether I put it in the right bag.
Well, that's kind of critical, isn't it, Jenny?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, eat that, right?
Thank
and then
you.
go find your hot water.
As the work goes on without her, she finds that her flask is completely empty, breaking one of the basic rules of Arctic survival.
You cannot leave in the morning without water, especially hot water. To discover that your flask is empty out here in the middle of the glacier is useless, isn't it?
How I let it slip, I don't know. I really don't. I think even though I'm trying, I've got to basically in my head put a checklist, because, you know, I've really got, you've got to state the obvious with me, because I really wouldn't know.
I've got some water now, and it's hot water, so it'll heat you up, yeah? Right, do you want to do some sampling?
Yes, please.
Okay.
36 grams, was it?
Following the morning meeting, Fabian is feeling a lot more positive.
After I got that off my chest, I feel much, much happier. Me and Lewis are like doing a lot more things together. We're actually talking to each other, and there's been no kind of arguments or any misunderstanding of any sort today.
I think I was a bit harsh on him before. I reckon, yeah, we're getting along a lot better already, so it's good.
And at last, Jenna Lynn is getting to do her bit, taking a core sample of ice from the glacier. Lewis and Alex head under the tarpaulin for a unique view of the history of the glacier. With the pit wall thinned out, they get an amazingly detailed picture of all the recent snowfalls.
So what exactly are these thin lines here, these really little
Okay,
thin ones?
the very thin ones, some of these are actual ice layers. So you had a warmer day there and just a bit of surface melt.
It's kind of now paid off, all that digging that we did yesterday, to find out you can get so much information, and we are actually helping.
We've worked our hardest and we're putting something back, and I think we're making a difference today.
Increasing cloudiness.
But it turns out to be the last project work they can do.
Wind southeast, gusting to 60 this evening.
A satellite call confirms that another storm is on its way.
We're looking at some fairly strong winds tonight.
And they're very exposed on the glacier.
The weather is deteriorating. We're on a huge, big plateau at 2,500 feet, so we can expect a fairly breezy night, also with snow as well.
And there's even worse news. The ski plane has a problem, so there's no chance of leaving before the storm hits.
The other thing to do would be get out beforehand, which is the original plan, but because the skid can't be repaired tonight, we won't be able to leave tonight.
So it's all hands on deck to urgently build up some storm defences.
We've had bad luck all this expedition, because if the plane had its actual part working, we could have been picked up today and we wouldn't have even had to be here for this blizzard.
I do hope it doesn't bring down any of the tents, but I don't want this to sound sinister, but I'm actually quite excited. Don't know why.
Worst job of the day falls to Alex and Courtney.
This is our toilet, and me and Alex had the unfortunate job of cleaning it out and putting a new toilet in, so it's quite smelly and gross.
I'm really worried about tonight because last time I didn't cope very well in the blizzard, so I'm really not looking forward to the night, and I just really hope that we can get out in the morning.
You can help.
Perfect.
I reckon it will hold in the blizzard. I'm quite confident that it will stand, that we can see in the morning.
As predicted, 60-mile-an-hour gusts lashed the camp through the night. But this time, the tent survived.
I was really glad at how it held up, because Fabian woke up in the night and he told us that it was really bad winds. The pole held and the guy ropes held, and we did really well, I think.
Now there's nothing to do but sit out the storm, however long it takes.
Because the weather here is so unpredictable, you can never really say when we're going to get out of here. It might be today, it might be a week away, you just don't know.
With no sign of the blizzard letting up, the team fantasise about what they'll eat when they finally get back to Britain.
Oh, what's on our menu? We've got
a big bowl
bread,
of fruit,
crisps,
Caesar salad,
A curry, a burger, or a pizza. Definitely all for myself.
need bread, and
And
need
crisps.
fresh fruit and vegetables.
Yeah,
to feel so unhealthy.
a spit roast chicken.
A nice meat-filled burger. Oh.
They're also desperate to use a proper toilet again.
I hate using the toilet out here. Well, there is no toilet, that's the thing. You just have to crouch down and do what you have to do. So I try to avoid it as much as possible. At the beginning I said I was going to do one a week, which I've already done, so I made me not to go again.
As they bed down for yet another night trapped in an Arctic blizzard, thoughts turn again to home.
I think this has made me closer to my family. It sounds really strange, I'm halfway across the world and I'm closer to my family. But when I go back, I'm really going to appreciate being with my family, because I know how much it hurts being without them.
I'm absolutely freezing, as you can probably see. I'm shivering. I know the next stage is going home, which is I just can't wait for.
And next morning there's finally news of a small window in the weather.
Guys, fantastic news. We have a plane that is basically set off back now. Guys. Great news, all right? Great news. But we've got 50 minutes to get organised, and that means that you lot are going to have to be seriously switched on.
Let's go.
And the first job is to dig their tents out. plane can't come too soon for Jenny Lynn, who's now having real trouble with her feet.
Got 15 minutes ETA before the plane arrives. Let's get all this stuff put away. Yeah.
But the weather's still far from perfect.
We're really excited it's coming. To tell the truth, I don't think it's going to be able to land because it looks like the weather's just getting worse and worse.
Suddenly, the sight they've been waiting for.
Really happy now. It's back and we're going back. Hooray!
I'm just praying it can land. It's disappeared now though, it's not a good sign.
With such poor visibility, it's touch and go as to whether the plane will be able to land on the soft snow.
When the plane came in to take me away, I was just so overjoyed that I never thought I'd be so happy to see a plane, to be honest. It was an amazing feeling of just like joy that we could actually get out of there.
Think of this. This is your lifeline home. Come on, girl. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it.
After surviving some of the harshest conditions on Earth, the team are finally heading back to civilization. Provides a last chance to see the dramatic Arctic wilderness they've lived in and conquered over the past 3 weeks.
It's been a totally amazing experience. I don't even know what to say. It's been so good. You know, I'm just so glad that I got picked.
When we were on the plane, it was like a big relief. Suddenly all the weight was like pulled off your shoulders. But at the same time, I was quite upset because I doubt I'll ever come back to like a place as amazing as this.
Just to be able to camp out in the Arctic for 3 weeks has just been amazing. Before, I have to admit, I was quite a lazy person and like, it's changed me quite a lot.
It was really rewarding and I felt that I've achieved so much within 3 weeks. It's the best thing I've ever done and I'll ever do.
I feel proud of myself because I didn't think, some days I just didn't think I'd be able to carry on. It really was tough, but it was so rewarding at the end.
I think it all adds to the experience, even when you are really, really upset and you're missing home. If I hadn't have been so low, then I've never been so happy after it, and the whole experience was just amazing.
I'm really proud of what they've done and what they've been through. For 8, 12 to 50-year-olds to be able to cope and enjoy it is just a fantastic achievement.
They've suffered extreme cold, they've suffered hunger, they've suffered blizzards, they've got through all of that and come out with a smile on their face, and you can't ask for anything more than that.
Rate this expedition is the toughest thing I've ever done, and to be honest, it's probably the toughest thing I'm ever going to have to do. I've achieved something that some grown men would struggle to achieve.
It was tougher than I ever imagined it to be, but it was all worth it to say that I have been to the Arctic, you know, and we survived, basically. If you think of it, if I'm 15 now, think of what I can achieve when I'm 30.